let me rest in peace over here. Here's how my day went yesterday. I told you Monday, I woke up dangerously delusional because I saw signs of life on my defense. So you know what I did after our show yesterday?
What you do?
You know how my mind starts working. I start thinking, you know what? This just could be the Sunday. This could be the ultimate trap game, the ultimate trap game for the Pittsburgh Steelers, because they're coming off a huge rivalry win at Baltimore. They pulled it off. They are in the catbird seat. This is the first time in forever that they've been, what are they, 7-0 or 8-0? 7-0. And I look at their schedule. They got the woeful Cowboys, then they got the Bengals at home, then they go to Jacksonville, and they're probably thinking, exhale. Let's just take a little breather here as we get ready for a Thanksgiving night rematch with the Baltimore Ravens in Pittsburgh, right? And I'm thinking, you know what? Pittsburgh might be a little overrated because they are really good on defense. Pro Football Focus says they have the best defense. They lead the league in sacks.
They get at the quarterback.
They ever. But Pro Football Focus ranks the Steelers' offense 24th. And I'm thinking, you know what? Pro Football Focus also on its weekly All-Pro team put two of my Cowboys on defense on the All-Pro team, DeMarcus Lawrence and Trevon Diggs. After he got smoked a couple times in Philly, he got Carson Wentz back twice. And nearly put us back in position to steal the football game, except for Benjamin Anthony DiNucci. Bad. No, he just wasn't up to that task. But Andy Dalton's a whole nother story. Best backup quarterback in pro football. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. Andy's played the Steelers a bunch in his career. So I looked it up yesterday. 16 times he has played Mike Tomlin's Pittsburgh Steelers. His record isn't very good. It's 3-13, but he was playing for the Bungles. But you look at his stats, 19 touchdowns to 14 interceptions. Not terrible against Mike Tomlin's defense over 16 games, right? So will Andy Dalton be scared on Sunday? No, he won't be scared. Like, I got a shot. If Andy's back from his concussion protocol and my defense could somehow stymie the Steelers' offense, because we actually had 4 takeaways. We had 3 the whole year. We had 4 on Sunday night at Philadelphia.
Which was the fewest at that point in NFL history.
That is correct. So I'm thinking, even though we're still dead last in points allowed and we're still dead last in turnover differential at -11, I saw rays of hope. And I'm thinking, what if they shock this team? Because look, we have 3 games left in the division. We got 2 at home. We got Washington and Philly at home, and we go to the Giants at the end of the year. What if we won all 3? I told you yesterday, 5 could win this division, 5 wins. 6 for sure. You got a real shot with 6.
Absolutely.
So if we could win out in the East and then steal 1 game out of division, we got a shot. What if they shock the Pittsburgh Steelers as up to 14-point underdogs with Andy Dalton back at quarterback? And I'm thinking, here I go.
I got a chance.
And then I see some quotes midday yesterday from an early Mike McCarthy press conference. And, you know, the one thing that he's gloating about, and it's the only thing he can gloat about, he says, we're one team. I don't think they're one of the few teams. No COVID positives through the regular season for the Dallas Cowboys. And I'm thinking, that's all you got? No COVID positives for the Cowboys. And he's actually, like, gloating about it. Because then a couple hours pass, and I see the headline, and I said, you're kidding. Andy Dalton is on the COVID list. I don't know if he tested positive, if he had contact problems. I don't know. It's probable, I would guess, that he tested positive.
For him to miss, because, Skip, if you didn't test positive, you can quarantine for 5 days, test negative, and play.
So you have a shot?
So the mere fact that they're saying he's out,
you would guess that's what happened.
He's tested positive.
Andy Dalton, of all players on this roster, you tested positive? Just as I thought, well, if you're back, I got a chance. And now I got no chance. Now they have re-signed Cooper Rush, who used to be the backup quarterback, and they cut him, and he went up with Jason Garrett to the Giants, who cut him before the year started. What? And Cooper Rush is back, and he's thrown 3 passes in his Cowboy life and completed 1 for a grand total of 2 yards back in 2017. So he hasn't been in an NFL game for nearly 3 years. So it's now Ben DiNucci or Cooper Rush. Ben DiNucci or Cooper Rush.
You got another guy.
I know. I got Garrett Gilbert.
You don't want him?
He used to be the stud of Texas as a high school player. He was one of the big signees in the history of the University of Texas, and he wound up at SMU. Okay, so that's how great he was at the University of Texas. So I'm going to assume it's now Cooper Rush or bust on Sunday. Cooper Rush out of Central Michigan, who went undrafted. And here we go again. At least DiNucci was a 7th-round pick, like Shannon Sharpe was. So now I'm just crushed again. I cannot even get a break. I can't get a COVID break. I just lost the best backup in pro football. Andy Dalton is on the COVID list, and I'm on the I'm out of here list, right?
Yeah, you on life support list with your Cowboys. Skip, all of your quarterback options are bad. The mere fact, let this sink in, because the Cowboys tendered Cooper Rush for $2.1 million.
They did.
And then all of a sudden, Andy Dalton became available.
Out of nowhere.
They released him.
Yeah, and they ate that money.
That should, Skip, that should tell you something. If you believed in Cooper Rush, why would you sign Andy Dalton? Here's a guy that had
That's a good point.
This guy had been in your system since 2017. Mike McCarthy says, I'm going to leave the terminology in because that's what Dak is familiar with. Well, Cooper Rush was on the roster. He was the backup to Dak. So he knows that terminology. Why would you bring Andy Dalton in to learn new terminology if you believe Cooper Rush was the guy? You know Cooper Rush isn't the guy. Skip, it's like, okay, what is it? A, Ben DiNucci. B, Cooper Rush. C, Garrett Gilbert. E, none of the above.
Yep.
That's what you want, Skip. I'm sorry, you guys. It doesn't. If you take all the best qualities of each of those 3 individuals, Skip, I still don't believe you get a quarterback that can beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, it might be a situation like, as you mentioned, they're looking past a big division win, the Baltimore Ravens on the road, tough. Last play of the game comes down to the last play, and they're looking past the Cowboys. But knowing Mike Tomlin the little bit that I do, I don't think that. He's like, and as he said, he said, look, we're happy with the win, but we got to be honest with ourselves now. We got to be honest. We didn't play particularly well in certain areas, and that's why we're going to have to evaluate this tape. Skip, look, I just don't know what y'all going to do. Now, the Steelers take the ball away. They lead the league in sack, 5th in takeaways, and now they get that offensive line, Bud Dupree, Cam Hayward, and T.J. Watt. That's what y'all gonna go up against.
T.J. Watt, 6.5 sacks. Bud Dupree, 6 sacks.
Well, they're gonna leave with more than 6 and 6.5 when they leave this ball game. You got your work cut out for you. And now, the thing is about Ben and those receivers, he has all his starting receivers. Now, if Ben does not, obviously, it's a level playing field, you turn the ball over. Because now you give Dallas short fields, kind of like what Wentz did, even though a lot of times you guys weren't able to take advantage of it. Now, you turn the ball over, all bets are off, Skip. But I don't believe the Steelers will look past you because of what transpired last week. I believe they will take you guys serious. I believe they will look to step on you early and end this thing. You guys play well. I like what I saw. See, what I saw from D-Law Sunday is what I expect to see from him every week. I saw the hustle. I saw them throw a smoke route, and he turned, rushed, peeled, and go get it.
He ran it down.
That's the D-Law.
Yep, I agree.
D-Law. That's why you was thought of as a top 5 defensive end in all of football.
That is correct.
That's why Jerry gave you all that money. This is what I expect to see from you every week. To be the best player. You are undeniable. The best player on that defense. You need to show that on a weekly basis. But you got your work cut out for you. And it doesn't matter if you had Andy Dalton, but now that you got you.